I have said many times, and I repeat, that the most important things in a survival situation is the knowledge, the training, and how well we are prepared. So we must be training in survival techniques before anything happens. Take a survival guide to learn all the survival skills and go out there for practice. Practice before anything happens. One of the basic survival techniques in a survival situation is how to start a fire. Our skills how to start a fire can make the difference between life and death. Because the last 2 days raining, let's see how we can start a fire in wet conditions. To start a fire in wet conditions, it will be a challenge. So in case that we want to start a fire, the first thing that we have to do is to collect some dry tinder, small thin sticks, a little bit larger sticks, some branches and some large logs. But in case if all these are wet, especially the tinder, it is not possible to start a fire. And as you can see, everything is wet. So let's see what we can do to start a fire in wet conditions. The first thing that we have to do to start a fire in wet conditions is to collect the right tinder and the right woods. The pine tree, that you can recognize it from the needle leaves, contains resin. The resin is very flammable and could start a fire even if it is wet. So the fat wood, the woods from the pine tree that contains resin, is some of the right woods to start a fire in wet conditions. The bark from the birch tree also is an excellent tinder. The fungus that grows on tree trunks is an excellent tinder. This hard type of mushroom can help to start a fire, especially with a magnifying glass. But even the woods are the right to start a fire. If these woods are wet, it is not possible to start a fire. So we must to collect also the right woods from the right area. We never collect woods from the ground because always are wet. So we have to look around to find dead trees that standing upright like this one, because the dead wood is completely dry. Also, if standing upright like this one, collect less moisture. The branches of the trees that are horizontally made like this to collect the rain. So these branches always are wet, especially after a rain. So look around for dead trees that standing upright. So I find a dead tree, so I will collect the standing upright branches. This over here, it will be wet. So to collect dead standing upright trees, first try to break it down, because it is more easily than to try to cut it. Don't spend a lot of energy. Also search for some dry woods or tinder underneath of trees, inside of trees, or inside and under of bushes or leaves, because there could be more protected from the rain. Let me tell you an important detail. I want to inform you that we need only dead dry woods like this one, not rotten woods. The rotten woods doesn't work, is completely useless. So when we collect our firewoods, we must follow some techniques if we want to have a successfully progress to start a fire in a wet conditions. As you can see, the wood is completely wet, so we want to split the wood to take out the center dry part. Of course, we can split the wood using an axe or a fixed blade. But in case that are not available these tools, it is possible to split a wood using a Swiss Army knife. Let me show you two techniques how to split a wood using a Swiss Army knife. So, to split woods using a Swiss Army knife, if the woods are soft and thin, we can use our blade in 90 degrees angle, like this. And we can split the woods. But it is better to protect our blade. Also, it is not possible to split large logs using the blade of a Swiss Army knife. So in that case, we can use the wood saw. First, we have to make a cut on the top of the wood. If the wood is large, start to make a cut close to the edge of the wood, like this, here or here. When we make the cut, we have to make some wooden wedges. It was a hard wood. Sometimes it is more easily to split a wood using wooden wedges. The second way to split a wood using a pocket wood saw is to make a cut at the middle of the wood, make a cut through until the middle of the wood or a little bit less. So I will make a cut through at the middle of the wood until the middle, until the half of the wood or a little bit less. So when we create a cut through at the middle of the wood until the middle or a little bit less of the wood, like this, I'm gonna grab over here the wood, and from the side that is that cut, I'm gonna strike like this the wood to split it. As you can see, the wood is already cracked. Easy and clear cut. So when we split our firewoods, we have to create our tinder. I have collected resin over here. Also, I will scrape the wood to make some scrambles. Now my tinder is ready. When we prepared the tinder, we have to make some feather sticks. So when you create some feather sticks, you are ready to try to start your fire. Place a bark or a wooden base to protect your fire from the wet ground. Even to try to start a fire with a lighter or a fire steel, the progress is the same. We have a fire in wet conditions. The knowledge is everything. Check this out. This is the stick that I used to create the fire tinder. If you don't use the right technique, it is not possible to start your fire. As you can see, if you don't make scrambles or fire the stick, it is not possible to start a fire. It is too difficult. Knowledge is everything. So my friends, this was some basic techniques how to start a fire in wet condition using only tools that you can carry on you every day. Also, I show you the technique with to start a fire with natural tinder in case if you nothing else is available. Of course, should carry an already tinder, but in case if you don't have anything, you could be creative, think what could works as a tinder. For example, you can scratch your clothes or you take a little bit of your insulation of your jacket to start a fire. I hope to join this video. Until the next one, stay safe. Thanks for your support. Thanks for watching.